Hey everybody, Gunston Undercover here. Today is Saturday, January 18th, I believe it is, 2020. And I'm telling you, I'm the blue line of propaganda BS is as thick, deep as it can be on this particular posting. So much that I put a hold doing my other videos to do this one right away. And this has to do with Chief Kudrick over Howell Township Police Department. Boy, he is a camera whore for sure. He loves being out there in the spotlight. And let me remind everybody, he's getting paid over $200,000 a year. So here's the story. Let me bring it up here. And I will put the link in the description so you can see it for yourself. I don't know if that's going to come up or not. There it is. So, I'll just give you a quick synopsis of it and see if I'm right, because I haven't read the whole story yet. Just enough of it to irritate me. Apparently, some Howell Township police officers went into a Five Guys hamburger place. And I don't know if you ever ate Five Guys, but it's the worst hamburgers around. It's these greasy fried hamburgers, and they take French fries and a burger, and they throw it in a brown bag for you, and they shake it up real good. It's the worst thing I've ever had. I am a connoisseur of hamburgers, but I'll tell you what, I will not eat at Five Guys. It is the worst. I would eat McDonald's before I'd eat Five Guys. Just my personal opinion. So this is posted today, and it reads, information released. Statement from Chief Kudrick in response to the incident at Five Guys Burgers and Fries. The actions of one is not a reflection of all. Whether it's a police department or a business, sometimes one employee can cause a lot of damage. Well, he certainly knows about that, doesn't he? Isn't that right, Mr. Kudrick? Let's talk about Richard Conte, the pervert. As many of you are aware, an employee of I'm not aware, I just found out this recently. As many of you are aware, an employee of Five Guys Burgers and Fries here in Howell made derogatory remarks towards our officers last night as they walked in on their meal break. The officers turned around and left without engaging this misguided young man. Now, I take exception to this. Just because the man expressed himself and he doesn't like cops or has an issue with cops, that means he's misguided, and I guess I must be misguided too, because my whole channel is based on bad behavior by police. The manager was reported to have laughed at the comment as well. A customer who witnessed the incident posted it on social media, and it went viral. Well, I don't know who that employee was. If anybody out there knows who the employee is, have them contact me. I want to speak to them directly. This morning, I met with the owner and area manager at police headquarters. The conversation was meaningful. Both were genuinely upset and stressed over this incident, maybe because they're bootlickers. They also requested to issue a public statement condemning the incident while strongly supporting law enforcement. I didn't even read that part yet. Bootlickers! To show my support in return, I had lunch with Courtney, the area manager. I also spoke to Caesar, the manager, who was reported to have laughed. His reaction was a result of him being uncomfortable and somewhat taken back by the employee's conduct. He was the one who immediately notified Courtney, who then terminated the employee. It was a great conversation between all of us. By the way, the burger was delicious. No, it's not. They're disgusting, greasy things. They fry them. They don't even put it on a grill. It's fried on a flat surface. I am confident this incident was handled swiftly and appropriately. The employee was terminated even before this incident made it to the social media. I believe this is to be an isolated incident caused by a poor decision by a part-time employee. I hope that employee is a subscriber of mine. In fact, management and ownership is overwhelmingly supportive of law enforcement. Well, come on. Of course they are. They got a business there. They want to know when they pick the phone up, they're going to show up. And they don't want to say anything derogatory about the police department, because then Kudrick will send the fire inspector over there. This includes not only how they handle this incident, but their previous history as well. I encourage you to continue to support this business and come out this Wednesday as they host a law enforcement appreciation event. 100% of the proceeds will go to the Howell PBA. Boy, I'll tell you what, they're really licking it good, huh? From the balls all right to the head. On behalf of all my officers, thank you for the overwhelming amount of support you have shown us. We are privileged to serve in such an amazing community. Let's move on from this. Pictured is Chief Kudrick having lunch and conversation with Area Manager Courtney earlier today. And there they are. There she is. Look at that bootlicker. Now, I got a question for Courtney. When you're driving, you know, you love the police so much. It was great. That's your opinion. That's your right to do so. But when you're driving down Route 9, Courtney, and then a cop gets behind you, does your heart start to race a little bit? Do you get a little nervous? I mean, they're out there protecting and serving you. Do you get nervous when the police are behind you? Of course you do. Well, now let's read what some of the comments are. This is Deborah Ann. Sometimes we all make bad decisions, not realizing the ramifications. Hope this young person learned a good lesson, probably one he'll never forget. We also need to remember one bad apple, you know the rest. Kudos to the chief and manager. Well, this other guy chimed in and said something. Let's read what he had to say. His name is John Van Dyke. So, if a person doesn't follow the herd, expresses themselves, or questions the popular narrative, they are misguided. I think more Americans should exercise their free speech and hold these six-figure-a-year public servants accountable. Mr. Kudrick, maybe you could show the video how your officers treated Jen Combs when she came to your headquarters and engaged in perfectly legal, constitutionally protected activities. Or maybe show everyone the video how one of your officers threatened to arrest a citizen for not wanting to identify himself when your officer failed to articulate a crime. There was a video of that. Wandering News was the guy that got jammed up there. And perhaps you could update the community on your star player, the child predator, former Sergeant Richard Conte. Oh, he's a real darling, isn't he? Conte's not going to talk about that, so you can see it's more than just one bad apple just in this department alone. Social media is exposing the police culture in America. Over 1,000 people killed every year by police, plus those severely injured, and millions of dollars in civil rights lawsuits settlements. Just recently, Millville's darling of blue, Joe Dixon, pleaded guilty to seriously injuring two women. He's not going to jail, and he's not going to pay the hundreds of thousands of dollars to settle the lawsuits either. Should I mention Long Branch PD's drunken officer Jake Pascucci, who smashed into a woman and killed her and hasn't spent a day in jail? Let's not forget Joyce Patrick. How much will he cost the taxpayer? Should I talk about Neptune's Officer Seidel, that's a sergeant actually, who killed his wife in front of his daughter, Seagirt Police Chief, costing his taxpayers recently over $1 million in a sexual harassment suit. He harassed an allegedly gay officer. In the past 5 years, Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office has prosecuted, or they've mentioned that since Graham McKeone, the head prosecutor, has been in office, 17 officers here in Monmouth County have been removed. But as I've come to learn, law enforcement is in a state of denial, and how dare a citizen question what they say or do or hold you accountable. Bravo to this young American who expresses himself at great financial peril. We need more citizens like him. Not everyone buys into the police are here to protect and serve. They are here to protect the government, enforce laws, and generate revenue for town. They investigate, arrest, gather evidence, and assist the prosecution. By the way, Andy, tell everyone exactly what you do every day that warrants you getting $200,000 a year. Oh, boy. The bootlickers they're out in force on this one. Now, this Deborah Ann here, who said sometimes we all make bad decisions, not realizing ramifications. John Van Dyke made another response to that. He says, Deborah Ann, how did he make a mistake? Maybe what he had to say was worth more than an $11 an hour go-nowhere job. See, you know, Kudrick, these cops, people like Kudrick and others, he's just an example. They are masters at brainwashing and propaganda. They're going to take that little incident, they're going to victimize that kid who probably had a bad run-in with a cop, probably got his rights violated, okay? And the kid just got so frustrated and angry, and he saw an officer, and he expressed himself, and he lost his job. And he probably said, I don't need that stupid job. It's $11 an hour. It's minimum wage. There's a gazillion $11 an hour jobs out there. And somehow he's misguided. No, he's not misguided. He's just like many other Americans out there, and like many of my subscribers out there, you watch social media, you see what's going on, you see what these police are doing every day, hurting people, jamming people up, stealing money. I talk about it all the time. All these cops do here in Monmouth County is sit on the side of the road watching cars go by, trying to extort that money, trying to supplement the town's budget. Every once in a while they got an answer call, and they get to the call, and then they want to ramp it up so they can get the arrest, so the officer can get the overtime, and the court can implement some more fines. Yeah, so listen, I'm going to put that link in the description. I'll see, we'll get Five Guys Facebook page there too. I encourage everybody to go to that posting there and express yourselves. Don't let that poor young man over there at Five Guys who got fired stand alone by himself. Let him know there's people out there supporting it, and express yourself. Don't let these bootleggers get to have the spotlight all the time. We have to stand up to them. We have to express ourselves. Now, don't call them. Don't be nasty. Don't threaten them. Just get on there and express yourself professionally. You're representing now. Remember that. Getting on there and cursing and yelling, things like that, that doesn't look good. So I would encourage everybody to go to that Facebook page. Express yourself. Let the Kudrick over there know that that kid doesn't stand alone, and not everybody buys into that cop again of BS, that brainwashing crap that they're perpetrating on America, and they are in overtime doing this now. Big time overtime. Just go look at all the Facebook pages of cops' Facebook pages and see all the crap they're putting on there. They're attacking our kids, trying to brainwash them. They're brainwashing the old folks that go to these coffee with a cop things in the morning. Unbelievable what's going on there. But yeah, that one really got me going. I'm sure John Van Dyke's posting on there is going to cause a controversy. It's going to stir up a little trouble. I'll be interested to see what kind of remarks I get. I'll probably get a bunch of, oh, you just hate the police. Oh, wait, when you need the police, you better hope you never need the police one day. Or, you know, you're a cop hater, and they're here to protect us, and thank you for keeping our town safe. Well, they don't always keep the town safe. Isn't that right, Mr. Kudrick? Fortunately, that little 15-year-old girl was an officer that Conte was trying to lay naked with and have sex with. By the way, Mr. Kudrick, can you update everybody on what the story is with Richard Conte? How's he doing out there? Is he going to go to jail? Or is he so connected to the county and you that nothing's going to happen, I bet? This is Gunnison Undercover. Let me know what you think about this blue goo propaganda bootlicking story.